Good morning, builders. Good morning, builders. Welcome to another high impact episode of the Builders Series Live. I am so incredibly excited to be in the room with you this morning. I am so excited to be in the room with you this morning. So go ahead and drop a comment. I will tell you where and tell me where you are tuning in from, and let me know if you have a friend, a business partner, or a fellow leader who you would need to invite, who would need or a fellow leader who needs, right? Go ahead and drop in the comment. Tell me where you're tuning in from, and let me know if you have a business partner, a fellow leader who would need to, you know, who needs a passive push, right? Who needs a passive push to get. You are welcome to get out of their own way today. Yeah, hit that share button right now. Hit that share button right now and tag them in the comments. So let them know that we are live, we are here. Let them know that the classroom is officially open. Let them know that the classroom is officially open. If this is your very first time in joining our community, let me know. Introduce yourself in the comments. Tell us where you're tuning in from. You can invite a fellow partner, a fellow business person, a friend. All right, if this is your first time in joining us, and let me introduce myself. My name is Margaret Asah. Look for Margaret, and I am the founder. Okay, let me do this. Okay, so let me introduce myself. My name is Margaret Asah. Look for Margaret. I help business people find their calling, build their businesses, and scale enterprises. So my profession, I am a business operations consultant, a growth strategist, and an executive trainer, right? And my life work and my operational missions are simple. I help high impact entrepreneurs. Like I said before, I help founders, I help entrepreneurs, I help leaders identify their true calling, optimize their internal workflow, and scale their enterprises completely guilt-free. Guilt-free. So every single Saturday at 10 a.m. West African time, we gather right here on Margaret Asah TV. We gather here at Margaret Asah TV. What do? We gather here to have raw, honest, strategic, and kingdom-driven conversation. Conversations. We talk about, what are the things we talk about? We talk about what it actually takes, right? We talk about what it actually takes to translate your vision, your grand vision. We talk about what it actually takes to translate your grand vision, into a sustainable, high velocity daily reality. We break down your vision. We help you break down your vision into achievable pieces of reality. We help you bring those things to realization, like reality. We help you, those things you're confused about, those things that you are looking for someone to help you to see those things, and also help you to give it a language for you to be able to scale, right? So today's message addresses silent it addresses a silent, highly expensive bottleneck, something that has been going on for a while now. So our message today is tackling a silent a silent bottleneck, trouble, issues that happen on our daily life, that is, keeping some of us. These things are the things that keep some of the most, brilliant. It keeps some of the most brilliant minds. It keeps some of the most brilliant minds. It keeps them in complete stagnancy. Like, they become stagnant. People that know that they are brilliant, they know what they are doing, but some of these things keep us stagnant, and some of us do not even know that these are the issues, these are the things that might draw us back, or that might keep us stuck from achieving what we need to achieve, from achieving, from taking on the outcomes, from bringing those things, those visions to reality, right? From bringing those visions to reality, right? The title of today's message, today's section, the title of today's section is Build Before You Feel Ready. The title of today's section is Build Before You Feel Ready. Build before you feel ready. You have to build before you feel ready. And how do you build? How we are going to be learning why consistency matters. We're going to be learning why consistency matters more than confidence. Why consistency matters more than confidence, right? So what are we going to be looking at today? Is build before you feel ready. Why consistency matters before confidence. Consistency matters before confidence. So before I unpack what we have today, before I unpack on our four-part framework today, before I unpack, I need you to open your notebook. If you have a notebook around you, just go and get it. Get a pen, get a paper, begin to write down these things I'm about to say. So I need you to open your notebook. You can open it from your laptop, from your iPad, your Android, anything that you have, your book. It can be a piece of paper. Just open up something. Take a pen and just write down. Open to a completely blank sheet, open to a fresh page, and grab your pen and answer this question with absolute honesty. Absolute honesty. What have you been postponing? What have you been postponing because you don't feel ready? What are those things that you have been postponing because you don't feel ready? Write that down. Write that down in that note, in that fresh page, with your pen or with your pad. Write that down. What have you been postponing? Oh my God, what have you been postponing because you do not feel ready? Is it launching that premium business plan? Is it writing that book blueprint? Or is it launching your ministry? Is it writing that book blueprint that has been sitting in your Google Docs, that has been sitting in your notepad? You might even have the manuscript, but you have not launched it yet. Is it launching your ministry? Is it setting up your digital media channel? Is it applying for that next level corporate opportunity? Is that applying for that remote job, or maybe it's just showing up, right? Maybe it's just showing up online consistently to share your message. Put those things down. What are those things? I've listed them down, all right, for you to have a clue of what I'm trying to say. What are those things that you have been postponing? Those things that God has asked you to do? Those ideas you have gotten? My God, what are those things? Is it writing your book? Is it you just sharing your message, coming up online and speaking to people? Is it setting up your digital media channel? Maybe, right? What are those things that has held you back for all these years, for all these months, for all this time, right? What are those things? Just put them down in that fresh page with your pen. So most people think they are waiting for an emotional rush of confidence. Many of us confuse these things, like we're just thinking, okay, that very day that we might feel ready, we're just, waiting, continue waiting for an emotional rush. Like, okay, there's this day you just feel like it. Maybe a certain day you would just want to start. Oh my God. Or there's a specific time where you just get into it and just stumble on it, and you just start doing it, right? Many of us think this way, that is just a certain day, a certain time when we have a rush of willingness, of being able to do these things, to achieve these things that we know that we should start doing. We think it's a rush of confidence before they take a step. But peel back, if you peel back the psychological layers, like if we start thinking, in reverse, we start trying to understand, what is these things, what are the layers, what do I need to do, what is the first step I need to take before I go into what I need to go into, right? What are the layers? If we start looking at these things, then we'll begin to understand better what they are actually waiting for, right? We start looking back at those things. But if we peel back the psychological layers, what they are actually waiting for is permission. What we are actually waiting for in permission, I wrote in my notes that these are the things that we are actually waiting for. We are thinking that there is a rush of emotional confidence that will come forth to help us achieve that step, right? But initially, what we are actually waiting for is permission. We are actually waiting for perfect condition. We are actually waiting for things to get better. We are just giving ourselves reason not to start. All of those things matter. We are waiting for permission from someone, from a mentor, from someone we look up to, from a role model. We are waiting for people. My God. Wow. We are waiting. We keep waiting for perfect condition. When you get that car, when you fix that house, when you would do this, when you get that clothes on, when you get that shoe on, when you get that hair on, when you get that makeup on. And we keep waiting and waiting and waiting. And that simply do not exist in the real marketplace. That do not exist in the real marketplace. We keep waiting for permission, waiting for things to get better. When are you gonna start doing it? And all of those things do not even matter. All of those things do not even amount to the capacity that you can just put yourself out there and start doing. That simply do not exist in the real marketplace. All of those reasons you are giving yourself not to start, they do not exist. Hello, let me break your imagination. Like, they do not exist. The reasons you give yourself daily not to do it, they do not exist in the marketplace. Yeah, they do not exist. Now, today, I want to show you that confidence is never your starting point, but consistency is. So let's build. So come with me as we delve into what we have today. So the first point is the myth is readiness. All right? The myth is readiness. Let's start by destroying a massive lie. Let's start by destroying a massive lie. You see that lie, that thing, that thought in your head is a lie. Let's start by destroying it. Oh my God. That the enemy, that lie that the enemy and your flesh has been using to keep you small. All of these things, they are strategies that the enemy and your flesh has been using to keep you small, to make you not to amount to any meaningful thing, to make you not to achieve, not to be who God wants you to be, not to achieve greatness, not to achieve anything, not to be visible. All of these things, they are lies, they aren't true. So the myth is readiness. All right. So most people, all right. So we call it the myth of readiness. What do we call it now? We call it the myth of readiness. Most people lack. We look at industry leaders. Most of us, we look at industry leaders. You know those people, right? We look at those people in their various capacities. We look at them, the speakers. We look at them, the founders. We look at them, the corporate pioneers. And we assume they operate in a place of what? Of absolute, unshaken certainty. Right? We try to convince ourselves, once I get as confident as Margaret, once I get as confident as Margaret, once I get as confident as that top leader in that industry, then I will launch. That is what you have been telling yourself for all these years, and you keep waiting. We treat confidence as a prerequisite of to start. We put it down as a blockade from starting. But true builders discover confidence later. 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 And confidence is not an input. Confidence is not an input. Confidence is not an input. It is an output. Confidence is not what you take inside. Confidence is what you bring out of you, what comes out of you. Like, is what comes out of you. It's not meant to remain inside, right? That's what I'm trying to say. Confidence is not something that remains inside. You use confidence outside. Confidence is what comes outside. It's what comes out of you. It is a lagging metric. So you do not get confidence so that you can build. You do not get it before you build. You do not acquire it before you build. It is not transferred from anyone to you. It is not transferable. It is what you build over time, and you do not learn it before you start. you get confidence because you chose to build when you are trembling, because you chose to build when you are in doubt. You chose to build when you are still trusting God. The Bible speaking in the book of Hebrews, chapter 11 verse 6, it says, without faith it is impossible to please God. What is faith? Faith is the substance of things hoped for, and the evidence of things not seen. So when you wait until you feel 100% ready, you are paying what I call a perfectionism task. When you wait until you feel ready 100%, then you are paying what I call the perfectionism task. Every week you delay shipping that product, every time you delay publishing that content or testing that framework, or you delay your enterprise experiences, your enterprise experiences an operational drag. Every time you delay doing that thing that you are delaying your progress. You are delaying what you. So sorry for that break. All right, so back to what I was saying. Every time you delay, every time you delay shipping that product, every time you delay shipping that product or publishing that content, every time you delay shipping that product, every time you delay publishing that content or testing that framework, your enterprise experiences an operational drag. Your business begins to experience an operational drag. Hello? Your business begins to experience an operational drag. You might think that since you are not doing it, you might think that it's fine, that it's okay since you've not started, but there is something that begins to affect those things, right? It begins to experience an operational drag. What is an operational drag? If you're supposed to get to 80% by this month, like there is a target to get to 80%, and if you do not do what should take you to that 80%, will you get the 80%? No, you will get at 1%. That is if you even start doing it, but you might end up with 0% because you didn't take the step, because you didn't take that step, you didn't walk in layers. So that is how it works, right? That is how it works. Your enterprise begins to experience an operational drag by 1% because you never moved to 80%, because you refuse to take the leap. You are losing momentum, losing market data, you are losing impact, all because you are waiting for an emotional feeling of readiness that is never going to come. You begin to experience loss of momentum. You don't have a push. You don't have this feeling, this flair to do that thing anymore, because you started losing market data. You don't move forward because of this, and you are losing impact. You don't make impact, right? You make impact by doing, but if you do not do, you lose impact, all because you are waiting for an emotional feeling of or emotional feeling of readiness. that is never going to come. So God does not anoint the couch of contemplation. God does not anoint the couch of contemplation. You keep contemplating. What if I do this? What if I start this? What will people buy it? Will people do this? How will you know if people will buy it when you've not started? Who does that? Like, who does that? Why? How will you even know that? How will you even know that? Unless you start, unless you take a leap, unless you take a step, you wouldn't know. What story will you tell people? Right? What story will you tell them? So God does not anoint the couch of contemplation. What does he anoint? God anoints the feet of obedience. God does not anoint the couch of contemplation, but God anoints the feet of obedience. Yes. He anoints the feet of obedience. We are moving to the next section. So when preparation becomes procrastination. When preparation becomes procrastination. Now let's look at the sophisticated hiding places we create. Let us look at that difficult situation we put ourselves. The hiding places we create with our own hands. We make things difficult for our own self. Have you ever thought of that? So let's look at that place where we create for ourselves, that hiding places we create. Let's see those things, because there is a profound difference between strategic wisdom. There is a distinction and a difference between strategic wisdom and fear-based procrastination. There is a difference between fear-based procrastination. High achievers, they rarely procrastinate by sitting on the couch watching Netflix all day. High achievers rarely procrastinate by sitting on the couch. All of these things, they are does, right? So high achievers, they rarely procrastinate. They don't stay by sitting down all day watching Netflix, watching movies. They rarely. No, we are far too disciplined. No, we are far too disciplined. We are far too disciplined for that. Instead, we hide behind sophisticated stalling. We hide behind not doing. We hide behind not taking a step. We hide behind these things. We give ourselves reasons not to start. We give ourselves reason not to do. So high achievers, they rarely procrastinate by sitting in the couch all day, watching movies, doing irrelevant things, going about doing things that does not move them forward to the next phase or to the next place in their ministry, in their work, in their career. They don't do things that take them to the next stage of their life. How does this look? Now let's see, how does this look? It looks like rewriting. What does procrastination look like? These look like rewriting your business strategy document for the 20th time. It looks like rewriting your strategy. It looks like rewriting your business strategy document for the 20th time. It looks like spending 3 weeks editing graphics. It looks like spending 3 weeks editing graphics, working on the logo. Let me just change this logo. It's not perfect. It's not good. It's not. But God, in the book of Genesis chapter 1, he looked at everything he made and said, they are good, including you yourself, including myself, including yourself, including you. God said you are good. So why disqualify yourself? Why say bad things to yourself? Why say bad things to your mind? Why register negative things about yourself, saying that you do not qualify? Who told you that? And this procrastination, they look like rewriting your strategy, your business strategy for the 20th time. It looks like editing and re-editing and checking and cross-checking and redesigning the graphics or tweaking the fonts. Yeah? Tweaking the fonts, the logo. It is not about the logo. It is about the identity. It is about the container. It is about you. Just one time, let me just work on the landing page instead of putting the checklist link instead of putting the checkout page, the checkout link in front of the live client, instead of putting out your link to a live client, to a client, instead of getting it done and just putting it out there. Oh my God. It even looks like signing up for one more course. Let me just take this course. Some of us think that until we do that, that is the only way we will get validated. That is the only way people will respect us. That is the only way. If I don't take this course, because every professional is doing it, then is that your design? Is that the authority you are standing on? Who sent you? Who said you should go? Who said you should start? Did that person, did he tell you to take a course? For exceptions, except you get such a direction. But if there is ever a command to start a ministry, right? Some persons get that instructions, but why sit still? Why sit still waiting? Let me just sign up for that one more course. Let me just buy that one more certification. Oh my God. Let me just buy one more piece of production equipment. And because you think you are preparing, you keep on preparing and preparing and preparing, and no one is even seeing your growth. That is the delicate part of it. No one is seeing your growth. You're just the only one seeing that you are moving, but no one is seeing that the next step you're taking. No one is seeing your growth. Yeah? So listen to me closely. Listen to me closely. Strategic preparation has an expiration. Strategic preparation has an expiration date. Listen to me closely. Strategic preparation has an expiry date and a clear launch target. Yeah. If you think you're going to prepare forever, you must be joking. Strategic preparation has an expiry date and a clear launch timeline. A clear launch target. While procrastination has no end date, you keep planning, you keep preparing, you keep saying you will start. You keep telling yourself you would. You keep doing that. And when people care to ask you, you say you are not yet started. That is the sign of procrastination. It doesn't have an expiry date. It doesn't have a time of it. It doesn't have a timeline. It doesn't move you forward. It doesn't help you take a stand. It doesn't help you take a step. It's just unending. It's just endless. It looks like an unending cycle of getting ready to get ready. It looks like a cycle. Procrastination looks like an unending cycle of getting ready to get ready. If your preparation does not actively put your offer on the or your voice in front of a living, breathed human being, if your preparation does not put your voice in front of a living, breathing human being, you are not preparing. Oh, you are not. If your preparation does not set you, does not place you, does not carry your voice to a living, breathed human being, then you are not preparing. That is not preparation. You are just hiding. You are just hiding. You are letting fear dictate your operational velocity. You are letting fear do the operations for you. You are letting fear take the next step for you. You are letting fear keep you back and shield you from making impact. You will just be there looking at other people advancing, influencing their industries, and you're just there, oh God, when will my turn come? Not knowing that you are the one hiding. The next one is competence. When driving competence via consistency. Yeah, driving competence via consistency. Driving competence via you build competence through consistency. You build competence through consistency. Driving competence via consistency. So, how do we break the loop? How do we break the loop? How do we break the loop? We do it by activating the executive flywheel. Now, what do I mean by breaking the executive flywheel? I want you to draw a circle in your notebook. You have your notebooks, right? Take it out. If you do not have your notebook, please bring it out and take a pen and draw a circle. Yeah, draw a circle right now. I want you to take a notebook and draw a circle in your notebook. Draw a circle in your notebook right now. Right now, right now. Draw a circle on your notebook. Okay? Yes, I guess we've done that. Now, write down these 4 words in a loop as you go round it. Yeah, as you go round, like round about the circle you just drew now, right? Write this down. I'm about to say it now. Draw the circle. Take out a pen and a piece of paper, a fresh page. Draw a circle in that book, in that notebook right now, and write down these 4 words in a loop. Number 1, write down action. Write down action. Put action above the circle. Put action above the circle. You can put the second one below, or you can put it sideways. So just write it above the circle. Write it in a loop. Write in a loop. in a loop round about that circle you just drew now. So number one, right on that, right at the side of that circle, number one, action. Put it down, action. Number two, write down feedback. At the side of the loop of the circle you just drew, write it in a loop. Number one, write action. Number two, feedback. Number three, optimization. Number three, optimization. Optimization. Number four, put down confidence. Action, feedback, optimization, and confidence. This is how true authority is built. This is how true authority is built. When you take action, even if it's messy, imperfect action, you immediately generate real world feedback and data. When you take action, even if it's messy, imperfect action, you immediately generate real world feedback and data. You immediately generate a real world feedback or data. Once you have that data, once you have that data, you can optimize your workflows and system. You can optimize your workflow and systems. And when you optimize and see that your adjustments are working, when you optimize and see that your adjustments are working, that is the exact moment competence is born. When you optimize, when you work on those adjustments, you exactly know that this is the moment where competence is born. And guess what? Confidence naturally births unshaken confidence. Competence naturally births unshaken confidence. Oh my God. You cannot think your way into confidence. Oh, you cannot think, you can't. You cannot think your way into confidence. You have to deploy your way into it. You do not think your way into confidence. Rather, you have to, oh my God, you have to deploy your way into it. You do not think your way into confidence. Rather, you have to deploy your way into it. This is why strategic consistency matters infinitely more than your current confidence level. This is why strategic consistency, like you were strategic in doing and redoing, you don't get tired of doing that. You don't get tired of launching. You don't get tired of writing. You don't get tired of repeating the steps that would take you to your launch. That is what I meant by strategic consistency. You are strategic in launching, strategic in taking each step. Today you write, tomorrow you edit, tomorrow you publish. That is what I mean by strategic consistency. That is what matters. That is what matters. This is why strategic consistency matters infinitely. It matters. This is why strategic consistency matters infinitely more than your current confidence level. It grows, it scales. When you build programmatically, meaning that you show up Because it is your calendar. Because it is on your calendar. When you build programmatically, meaning that you show up because it is on your calendar, because you have structured it, because you have put it right where it needs to be, right where it needs to sit. You build programmatically, meaning that you show up because it is on your calendar and not because of how you feel today. Tomorrow you might not feel like it. Today you might feel like it, and tomorrow you might not feel like it. You build consistently. You build it. You do it. You show up because it is on your calendar and not when you feel like it. You will lower, when this happens, you will start to lower the emotional friction of execution. When this happens, you begin to lower, oh my God, you begin to lower the emotional friction of execution. This is a war. You fight it. That thing that do not want you to be consistent enough, that do not want you to execute. When you do that, because when you launch it, when you write it, when you publish the post, because it is right on your calendar, not when you feel like it, you begin to reduce the friction of emotional execution. You build execution as a stamina. You build execution stamina. This is when you begin to enter into the execution stamina. You build execution stamina. There is what we call execution stamina. Yeah. You begin to build execution stamina. So we move on to the next thing we have in our list, to our next conversation, the blueprint of biblical builders. I love this part. The blueprint of biblical builders. We are not going to end this conversation without going into what has happened before. The oldest book in existence. We have seen this happen over and over again. We've seen people, these things happen. You are not the first person. You are not the last. It has been happening. It has been happening in time past, in history. It has been going on for all these years and years, for generations and generations and generations. This has been happening. So we are looking right now at the biblical blueprint of builders, the blueprint of biblical builders. If you feel inadequate this morning, if you ever feel inadequate, unqualified, messy, not looking good, if you ever have this sense of feeling at some point this morning, I want to remind you that you are in elite historical company. I want to remind you that you are in elite historical company. The blueprint shows us that God's champions almost never felt ready. The blueprint shows us that God's champions almost never felt ready. This blueprint shows us that God's champions almost never felt ready when their assignment dropped. They never felt ready. The champions in the Bible, God's pioneers, God's champions, we read in the Bible, they almost never felt ready when their assignment dropped. So number one, we are looking at Moses. So look at Moses. Look at Moses very clearly. Look at Moses. When God told him to go confront Pharaoh, Moses didn't stand up and give a confident speech. When God instructed him, when God sent him to go show himself to Pharaoh, to go confront Pharaoh, he didn't stand up, he didn't get up to give a confident speech. What did Moses do instead? He looked at his speech impediment and argued with God. What did he say? He said to God, I am not eloquent. He felt completely unqualified. But God didn't wait for him to feel articulate. Oh my God. He commanded him to step out. I am telling you today to step out. That is what God told Moses. God asked him, he commanded him to step out, to go for it. Number two, let's look at Gideon in the book of in the book of Judges chapter 6, we see the story of Gideon. The Judges. Gideon is our second case study this morning. So look at Gideon. When the angel of the Lord showed up, now they were going through a lot. They were in hunger. They were hiding to eat. So an angel appeared to Gideon where he was hiding in the wine press. He was actually hiding to eat. Yeah. A mighty man of valor, right? A mighty man of valor. If you don't know the story of Gideon, you can go to the book of Judges chapter 6. You will see the account. You will read through the account of Gideon. Yeah. So Gideon was in that place, in that wine press. He was there when an angel of the Lord appeared to him. Let's look at what the angel said to him. So the angel of the Lord showed up and called him a mighty man of valor. A mighty man of valor. Listen closely. The man that was hiding to eat in a wine press, an angel appeared to him and called him and saluted him. He said, Thou mighty man of valor. Where was Gideon? Where was Gideon at that point when that angel saluted him? Now, listen to this part. He was literally hiding in a wine press out of a sheer terror of the Midianites. Whatever they planned, the Midianites comes and they hijack it. All their plans, everything they sown, the Midianites will come and eat up those things. So Gideon went to hide in that wine press out of a sheer terror from the Midianites. His personal confidence was at zero. Gideon's personal confidence was at zero. Gideon's personal confidence was at zero. But his assignment required execution. Gideon's personal confidence was at ground zero. But his assignment requires execution. His assignment required execution. Your assignment requires execution. Oh my God, his assignment required execution. Likewise, your assignment. Did you know that your assignment requires execution, all those talent that God bless you with, all those ideas that God gave you. What have you been doing with it? Is it not time to start executing? Is it not time to start taking a step? Start thinking about how you can start out. To start looking at how you can start. Now let's look at Jeremiah. This teaching will not be complete if we don't mention Prophet Jeremiah. Prophet Jeremiah, he immediately pleaded his youth. He immediately pleaded his youth and his lack of experience, saying, he told God, he said, I cannot speak, for I am a youth. I cannot speak, right? That is what you've been saying. I cannot speak. Let me just hide my face. Jeremiah, he said it. I cannot speak. Jeremiah chapter 1. Oh my God, go and look up that scripture. Jeremiah chapter 1. God told him, he called him a prophet from his mother's womb. And what did he tell God? He said to God, he said, I cannot speak, for I am but a youth. I am a boy. What will I even tell these people? They are much older than me. What will I say to them? Would they even hear me? Would they even listen to me? What do I even have to say? Does what I say even matter? Heart. God will not tell you to say it. So he said these things to God, but God shut down that excuse. Now, come on. God shut down that excuse. God shut it out. Who told you? Who told you? Oh yeah. Who told you? God down. God told him that your excuse is not enough to hold back. Your excuse is not enough to stop what I want to do in your life. Your excuse is not enough to withhold me from empowering those people through you. Your excuse is not enough for what I am capable of doing in your life, for the places that I'm about to set you. Nayokovai, your excuse is not enough. Stop hindering my work. Stop stopping what I want to do in the lives of people, in the life of people, through you. God told him that excuse instantly. God shut down that excuse instantly because the blueprint was already established. God has already established the blueprint in your life before you were even born, before you even felt equipped. God established. It is too late. It is too late to say no. It is too late to give up. It is too late to stop what God is doing already. It is too late to be led of God. It is too late because it has already been done. He has already equipped you with everything, every equipment you ever think you need. The fourth scenario, the fourth person we are looking at is Esther. This is the popular scripture, the book of Esther in the Old Testament. We look at the book of Esther, Esther 1, Esther 2, Esther chapter 3. Look at what happened. Look at what happened. Look at what happened. When Mordecai told Esther, he told her she needed to step into the inner court to save her people. Oh God. She hesitated. Why? Because the conditions weren't perfect. The conditions weren't perfect. The conditions and the law said she could be executed if the king didn't hold out the scepter. Now there is a dilemma. If you go, something might be wrong. If you don't go, you never can tell. You never know. Right? So this was the situation of Esther. there was a decree in that land, even before she got married to the king. If anyone ever goes out to stand in that inner court when you were not summoned, that is a death sentence already. That is just like you're going to kill yourself, right? So if the king does not call you, if he doesn't ask for you, and meanwhile the king has not called Esther, she hasn't even seen the king for like 30 days. That is like a month of not even seeing the king. So how was she able even to the king? Because that is already a death sentence. No matter who you are, it does not prefer you as a queen or whosoever appears before the king is dead already when you have not been called to show yourself. So this was like a death sentence. Esther was in shambles. She didn't know what to do, and everything was on her. Supposed to go and show herself because that was the only way. You don't, or you do it. You don't have a choice now. You must do it. Because who knows? That thing you've been praying for that has not been heard, you've not done God's own. You've not done his own. So you do his own first. What happened? Mordecai went to her and said, you must do this thing. There's no way you escape it. You are the, who knows? Who knows whether this is why God made you a queen? Who knows? So don't be an ungrateful servant. So go and do this, and let's know what will happen to our people. Right? This was a kind of the scenario that was happening in between Mordecai, the uncle of Esther, and Esther, the queen. Because the conditions were not looking perfect. It won't look like the way you have fashioned it on your head, in your head. It won't look like how it should be. It won't be arranged. It will be scattered. You see, the gold doesn't look like gold, though. The gold that you're seeing that is a precious stone, it doesn't look refined in the normal state. It doesn't look like it. Gold is there's nothing beautiful about gold. But when it has gone through processing, when it has gone through refining, then it becomes precious. Then gold becomes what everyone wants to have in their house, right? As an asset. Gold now becomes an asset. Gold now becomes precious in the hands of anyone that owns it. So it will not look perfect like the way you want it to look. That is not how God operates. It didn't look perfect in the eyes of Esther. It didn't look, okay, the king, okay, I can just walk, I can just throw down, wear my normal robe, like, oh my God. See, what took her to the palace is not what will work now. She just was prepared for 12 months and she just walked and went to appear before the king, right? And she became the queen. Come on. It's not what will work now. It's not bread and butter. It's not as easy as you think. It's not pap and milk. It's not milk and honey. Kovai. It is not the way you planned it, though. It will go the other way around. To test you, to test your obedience, to see if you will actually, because the blessing is actually behind it. So the that she could be executed if the king didn't hold an act, she had to ask in courage. I was speaking to someone. I said the lady was asking, why are people not actually fulfilling their destiny? Why are people in church? Why are they not doing what God wants them to do? Why are people not actually doing? Why are they skipping the doing part? They do more of the receiving part. Amen, amen. And you don't know that you will work out your salvation with fear and trembling. You don't know that once you come out at the altar and you receive the proclamations, you receive the declarations you have received. Oh God. I told this lady, God told Joshua when God took Moses, when it was time for God to take Moses, and after that Joshua has cried and cried and cried. His leader, he has known him for years. He has served him. He has poured water in his hands. And what happened? This man was just there, and God told him, just be courageous. Be courageous. That was what God was encouraging him. If you think that God cannot encourage you, you're lying. God encourages. God comforts. God is like, he is very closer to you. He feels your pain. He knows what you're going through. He has not forgotten you. He wants you to move. So you can only execute what he has asked you to do. It's like gold. It's like gold. What you have is like gold. You refine it. And you have the responsibility. It's not in the hands of another person. You are the one that will refine what God has put in your hands and begin to walk in that place that God has put you. Where is your place? Where is your station? Where is your workplace? Where is your place of audacity? Where is your place? What is that place that God has put you to go and take up? Esther didn't know that God was about to place her in another level, in another dimension. So you see, that thing you're afraid of is your promotion. You see, that thing you're afraid of is your next level. You see, that thing you're afraid of is your dominion. Is how you take charge of your territory. Is how you take charge of the place of your environment. Is how you take charge of your environment. She had to act in courage. Esther had to act in courage. That is also what you need to do. You need to act in courage. Do not be afraid. She had to act in courage before she saw the safety of the outcome. Before she saw the safety of the outcome. So go and look at these stories. Go and look at what God did. Go and look at the book of Exodus. You will see the story and the account of Moses when God called him. Go and look up the story of Gideon in the book of Judges chapter 6. You will see the story and the account of, look at the story of Jeremiah in the book of Esther. You will see if they are true. Go and check. People actually did. And did they actually fulfill? They fulfilled it. They did it anyway, and they fulfilled what God called them to do. Praise God. So this is the kingdom lesson. The kingdom lesson is simple. What is the kingdom lesson? God really hands you a beautiful, seamless 10-year roadmap with no unknown variables. God will not just carry everything, and how will this life be if everything is just good, right? You just be going straight. God will not hand you over a 10-year seamless, beautiful 10-year roadmap with no unknown variables. He gives you an institution. He gives you an instruction, rather. God gives you an instruction for a single faithful step. He gives you an instruction of a single faithful step. God gives you an instruction for a single faithful step. God built your capacity. God built your capacity, your systems, your confidence on the road of obedience. God built your capacity. He built your systems. He built your confidence on the road of obedience in the waiting room. In the waiting room. In the waiting room. He builds those things. He builds your systems. He builds them. He builds your confidence. He builds your capacity on the road, on the road of obedience. Our next conversation is the 5-step execution protocol. Our next segment, our next conversation is the 5-step execution protocol. Number 1. So let's look at this to help you transition from immediate execution this morning. to help you transition from intention to immediate execution this morning. I want to give you 5 practical operational steps you can implement today. To help you transition from intentional to immediate execution this morning, I want to give you 5 practical operational steps you can implement today. So sit tight and let's move into the first point. Start small. I know you've heard this over and over again. People have been saying, start small. I am reinforcing it today. Start small. Start small. Start small. Stop trying to build the whole empire in one afternoon. Start small and stop trying to build the whole empire in one afternoon. Instead, build your minimum viable deployment. What do I mean? Lower the barrier to entry so you can just start moving. Lower the barrier to moving. Begin to take out those things that look big, those things that might keep you stuck, the things that become difficult for you to achieve. Begin to lower them down, to wind them down. Begin to wind them down. Instead, build your minimum viable deployment. What is that little step you can take today? Today, not tomorrow. What is that little step you can actually take today, now? Is it you writing that one sentence? Is not you writing the whole book in one day? Oh God, how will I even write this book? That book that God says you should write, though. How do I even finish the book? That is not your business. Your business is to write the sentence, the first thought that comes to your mind. That is your business today. Tomorrow another thought will come. You write it down. Today you edit your graphic. You put the title and you don't get the next thing. You leave it. You move tomorrow. You build. You put the time. You put the date. As easy, you see? Deployment. Lower the barrier. Lower those things. Those blockade. Those things. Begin to take them out. You will see that some things are not even necessary for now. Some things you might be thinking that you will do now are not even necessary. They're not even the starting point. Lower the barrier to entry. Those things that would deprive you of starting. Begin to lower them. Lower them so that you can just start. So that you can just start moving. Number 2, stay consistent. Shift from seasonal execution to programmatic execution. What do I mean? Stop working only when inspiration strikes, only when you feel like it, when your mind moves you, when you think it's okay. Stop moving that way. Stay consistent. Remember, it's not about you, it is about them. It is about the people God has sent you to. It is not about you. It might not be beautiful in your own eyes, but it will be beautiful in someone else's eyes. So it is not for you, it is for them. It is for your clients. It is for them. Oh, hear that today. So stop working only when you feel like it. Stop working with inspiration. Only when you hear it. Only when you move it, you move. Only when you feel like editing. Only when you feel like talking. Let your daily calendar rule your actions, not your emotion. Let your daily calendar That post that you will post on Tuesday, let it rule your life. Let it rule your actions. What do I need to post today? Today is Saturday. You go and you look at your calendar. Okay, today I'm speaking on so and so thing. I'm speaking on this and that. You take it out, research about it, post it. Okay, what am I posting on Sunday? You look at it. Okay, look at what Sunday is saying. You post it. You don't take Monday and post on Sunday. You don't do what you're not supposed to do at the wrong time. To some of us, this is our problem. We don't concentrate. We don't focus on the mark. We don't look at it. We don't look at it. We get distracted at every wind of doctrine. We get distracted because it is trending. We want to jump into the trend. But why not look at the trend and see how it can benefit you and do it instead of doing what every other person is doing? You don't move by your emotions. You don't move by your emotions. You don't move by your emotions. Number 3, learn publicly. Oh God, this caught me. This caught me. Learn publicly. Never learn in hiding. Never ever. You see this point? Don't joke with it. Learn publicly. Like, right? This affected me for months, like years. It affected me. I was just growing in hiding. No one sees the growth. No one sees how proficient I am. No one is seeing anything because I was building in hiding. So learn publicly. Learn publicly. Stop being terrified of making feedback or criticism. Stop being terrified of of market feedback. Stop being, they say it's not good, improve on it. They say you're not doing well, improve on it. They say your product is not good enough, improve. Look at the things they are pointing at and start adjusting. Don't be stationed. Don't be just there. Try to work on your growth. Try to move. Learn publicly. Take feedback. Stop being terrified by market feedback because of market feedback. Stop being terrified of market feedback or criticism. Real world feedback is a diagnostic tool to optimize your business and not a personal attack on your identity. It is not a personal attack on your personality, but it is a diagnostic tool to optimize your business. It is not a personal attack on your identity. It is not a personal attack on your identity. It is what helps you to know where the areas you need to improve on, the place and the area you need to work on, right? Number 4, improve continually. Never stop learning. Keep improving. Keep moving. Don't say because I started it, they will now think that I don't know what I am doing. Don't ever imagine that. You will not in their mind. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't be distracted, right? Don't be distracted. Keep moving. Commit to a 1% optimization rule. Commit to a 1% of optimization rule. Commit to a 1% optimization rule. Now, every week, sharpen your workflows. Every week, sharpen your workflows. Clarify your message. Every week, check. What did I say last week that I need to adjust? Optimize it. What do I mean by optimization? What is Margaret even saying about optimization? It's been the simple way of explaining optimization is being on point. is being where you need to be. It is doing what you need to do at that certain point. Optimize your workflows. Those things you are using, those things you are doing in your business. In, let's say, for instance, you are designing your flyer, and this week you did it in a way that you think was right. You did it, you designed it very well, right? You designed it all right, you designed it very well, and you now come across something like a little adjustment. You now see that it's not the way you saw it yesterday or last week. Is no longer the way it should be in your eyes. Like, this is common with designers. The first design is usually not the final design, right? You go and you check, okay, in this thing I am using, what do I need to improve on in the way I edit my videos? What do I need to improve? The way I learn, do I need to adjust? So you are now optimizing your workflow, the way you operate. You are now moving towards the right direction. You are now adjusting. You are now putting yourself in order. You are now putting your business in the right calendar, in the right map of business success. So clarify your message. Is it what I'm still saying? The way I introduce myself to a client, is it how I should introduce myself to the next client? You clarify your message and tighten your operations by just 1%. Tighten your operations. Don't look at the 100%. Just tighten your operations by 1%. Number 5, trust God's process. This is very important for every builder. You are an entrepreneur, you're a founder, you're a business person, you're a leader, you're a marketplace entrepreneur, or whoever you are, what position you occupy. Do not leave this point ever. Do not joke with this point. Trust God's process. Trust God's process. Now, lean completely on your faith. Lean completely on your faith. Lean completely, deeply, lean completely on your faith. Deep intentional, your deep internal conviction. Lean completely on your deep internal conviction. Let no one come to toss you about. Let it be on what you believe in. Let it be on the stand of your faith. So lean deeply on your faith. Lean completely on your faith, deep internal convictions, and your structural alignment, rather than the fluctuating emotions of the day. You are sad. Lean on your faith. You are not happy. Lean on your faith. Lean on the deep internal convictions of your heart. Lean on these things instead of walking by emotions, walking by your weaknesses, walking by things that are not moving, that are not actually necessary to take away your happiness. So lean on the structural alignment, the things that you are still doing, the things that you're building. Lean on those things and not the emotion of the day, not on how you feel today. Today I'm not happy. Tomorrow you're all good. And the next day you're just moving that way, fluctuating, moving like this, moving is up today, tomorrow is down, it moves. No, that is not how a kingdom entrepreneur behave. That is not the character. That is not the characteristics of a kingdom leader. That is not the characteristics of high achievers. Yeah. So our next conversation is, we are not here today just to listen to a motivational speech. We are not here today just to listen to motivational speech, but we are here today to execute. What are we here today to do? What are we doing today? We are here today We are here to execute. We are here to do. We are here to execute. So look at that project. Look at that project. Look at that project or dream you wrote down. Look at that project or dream you wrote down at the beginning of this broadcast. Look at that thing. Remember, I told you to take out a pen and a paper and open to a blank, clean sheet, open to a blank page, a clean, fresh page, and pull down those things that you have been wanting to do that you have not started. So now is the time. Begin to look at those projects that you've written down. Look at those dreams, the visions that you've wrote down at the beginning of this broadcast. The one you have been delaying because you don't feel ready. Look at those things now. Look at those dreams. Imagine it. Look at it. Bring out the notepad where you wrote it down 2 years ago. Begin to look at those things. The one you refused to do, the one you were delaying because you wanted to feel ready, because you don't feel ready. Right below it. Right below it. Right below it. I want you to, right below that vision you've written down, I want you to write down one single micro action. I want you to write down one single micro action that you can take within the next 24 hours. Below that dream you have been hesitant, that you have been delaying to start because you wanted to feel ready. Below it, write down one single micro action that you can take within the next 24 hours to create a movement. Because it is no more overthinking. Just write one single micro action you will take now between the next 24 hours that will create a movement and that would take you to the next step. There is no more overthinking now. What is that one step? Now commit to it in the comment. Write it down in the comment. Write it down now. Commit to it in the comment right now. Write, I will execute. Put it down in the comment. I will execute. Commit to it in the comment right now. Write it down. If you're watching me right now, commit in the comment right now. Write, I will commit. Put it down. It is one step away for the high achievers. If you know you're a high achiever, put it down. I will execute within 24 hours. The next step, I will execute. Write it down in the comments right now. I am watching. I am seeing you. Who are those people that want to commit? Who are those people that want to commit today? Write it down. I will commit. I will execute. Yeah. I will execute. Put it down in the comment section. I will execute. So if today's framework has challenged the way you view your operational speed, your consistency, and your obedience, I want to invite you to deepen this work with me. This transformation doesn't happen in a single broadcast. It doesn't happen in a single conversation. And to help you anchor these principles into your daily structure, I want you to get your copy of my book, My Faith Incorporated. This book is a highly practical blueprint. This book is a highly practical blueprint that explores exactly what it means to discover your true calling, steward your marketplace gift with absolute excellence and build a high impact life of purpose with intentionality. So if you have been trying to figure out how your spiritual devotion connects seamlessly with your business operations, your career, and your divine assignment, My Faith Incorporated is your strategic starting point. You can secure your copy right now by visiting the link in my bio. As the Builder series continues to expand, this book serves as the ultimate anchor as your ultimate anchor. So every live episode we do function like a puzzle piece. Yeah, so systematically taking you from discovering your assignments to building operational systems that create lasting global impact. So builders, the waiting room is officially closed today. The waiting room is officially closed today. Imperfect, messy execution will always outperform. It will always outproduce flawless procrastination. So if today's teaching opened your eyes and gave you the clarity you needed to step out of the shadows, let's take immediate action together. So get your copy of My Faith Incorporated. Head straight to the link in my bio right now and secure your blueprint so you can begin stewarding your assignments with precision. Apply for our upcoming programs if you are a founder or an executive leader who is tired of dealing with operational drag and you are ready to build a high execution culture in your enterprise. Keep your eyes on this page. We have premium high proximity containers opening up very soon. I want you in the room. So share this live broadcast. Don't hoard this value. Don't eat it alone. Don't listen to it alone. Don't learn from it alone. So share this live broadcast. Don't hoard this value. Hit the share button. Copy the link and send it to a fellow business owner. And let's break the curse of perfectionism. Let's break the curse of perfectionism in our circles together. Thank you so much for showing up for your assignment, your vision, your calling today. My name is Margaret Asah. Look for Margaret. Let's step out in courage and let's value consistency over confidence, and let's continue building together. Have an incredible high velocity weekend. Builders, bye for now.